I'm a lesbian, and I was in a relationship for 6 years. At the 5-year mark, our relationship was so toxic I had to move back in with my father. 6 years into the relationship, I find out that we are not together anymore by going onto Facebook and finding out she's in a relationship with someone else, unbeknownst to me. How did I get over that relationship and be able to move on? Well, I watched a handful of people who talked about relationships and how to move on. One of them is Matthew Hussey, and we are going to be reacting to a Matthew Hussey video of him humbling a room of women.
It's a rough breakup still.
It is a rough breakup, but I'm over it.
Let's have one more question. We had this person at the back in the stripes. Yeah, let's hear from you.
You know, after like 4 or 5 months of dating, I just wondering at what point did the woman have to pay when they go out? The guy is asking that there should be half and half at that point.
To give you a quick answer on, firstly, I think we should just deal with the who should pay thing to begin with. When you're on a date, who should pay?
If you were a straight woman, who should pay?
I'd pay for my half out the bat. But 4 to 5 months in is when this man actually finally said something.
If I were a straight woman, I'd be paying half off the bat. But I would be communicating with him to make sure that that was okay before the date.
Maybe it's different because I'm a lesbian, but maybe it's not. Because out of the front, I'd be like, I'm gonna pay for half my meal because this is like the first date, and I don't want you to have to pay for anything.
Yeah, no assumptions.
And if they were like, no, let me treat you, I insist, then it's like, okay. Fine, you know?
Okay, but it's already been understood up front.
You offered or whatever.
How it is.
That's how it's communicated across.
I'm surprised.
I know. I mean, that's what I told them. You know, I'm sorry. I would say, I'm dating. We're dating. You're
but here's the
gentleman here.
Okay.
She said, "You're a gentleman here. You're supposed to pay."
If you are living together, do you expect that man to pay for every bit of food you eat?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. But by that logic, would you not also expect him to pay for every bit of food that you consume when you're living together? Think about it.
No, but we're not talking about living together. We're talking about going on dates.
No, yes, but
being
if he has
together
to
for
pay
4 to 5 months.
If you're expecting him to pay for every single date you go on, are you not expecting him to pay for like everything else in life?
Well, I would hope that 4 to 5 months of dating, you would have had the... Okay, as a lesbian, before I came out as, you know, a lesbian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
I dated guys, and I always made sure that they knew that I would pay for half. And most of the time, they'd be like, no, I'm going to pay for all of it. And I'd say, are you sure? And they'd be like, okay.
Yeah, it's an understanding.
It's okay. And I'd be like, okay. But know that I am offering to pay for half. Now, most straight women don't do that. A lesbian, of course, before she comes out, in her early 20s, late teens, you know.
Yeah.
That's expected.
No, yeah, I never had that experience because I wasn't date that old, but...
You're supposed to have sex with him whenever he says...
You didn't date that old?
I didn't date men that old. Like, when I was... The last guy I went on a date with was when I was 17.
What year was that?
2016.
2016, okay. Last time I dated a guy was 2008.
I know that, like, I've had the check toss before. It's just so ridiculous to me to expect anyone to cover, you know what I mean?
That's the thing, is as a lesbian, I just always, like when I dated guys before I came out, because I was outed beforehand.
Yeah.
When I came out, like even beforehand, when I was dating guys, I still wanted to pay for half because I didn't think it was fucking right.
It's not fair.
No.
Because it's not fair.
I never thought I was right.
It doesn't feel fair.
It's like, I'll pay for half, you pay for half. You know, we don't know where this is going to go. And until then, I'll pay for half, you pay for half. That's how it should go.
Well, but my mom is a straight woman, and she ordered like a steak and a lobster on the first date with my dad, and she paid for it, you know? He probably expected her not to, but she paid for it because it's just not right. Especially if you're on a first date with someone, and you go to a nice place, you order something really expensive, you want them to pay for that just to get to know you?
I don't know. I'm not a straight woman.
She's not even asking for that. This guy knows her at this point.
Whenever
where does this double standard come from? I'm sorry, it's the reality. You guys you can moan at it all you want, but the moment you say to a guy, you have to fucking pay for my time.
If you have to pay for my time, what am I getting in return? I'm assuming is what the man would ask.
Which is why most women, if they're smart, will pay for their stuff on the first date.
No, normally what women do is, I expect you to pay for our date, but as soon as you expect something else, how dare you, you misogynistic pig. It's like, no, there's no misogyny in this at all.
It just makes no sense to me. Because if you're gonna let someone pay for your food like that, you're not even gonna kind of offer.
No, not even let.
Almost force.
It's assumed.
Oh,
Listen,
yeah.
sir.
It's an entitlement
If
thing.
we're going on a date together, I assume you're going to pay for my time. But he's not allowed to assume that he's getting anything out of the deal.
He's not getting any payment back.
Yeah, because apparently her time is worth the payment. How vain are you, ladies? How vain are you?
I would never. I had a girlfriend who would take every opportunity, like would assume I was gonna do things like that all the time. You know how frustrating that gets?
No.
Yeah, I worked 2 jobs.
I did not ever allow any girl that I was with to assume I was paying for shit.
No, we would get into fights.
No, I'm paying for myself.
We would
bitch.
get into fights. I'd be like, listen, I'm not paying for you.
You got into fights?
I'd be like, listen, I'm not paying. Listen.
Go ahead, try again.
I'd be like, listen, I'm not paying for you anymore. Like, I'm tired of paying for you to.
Man, we can't get a break even with the kitty bitches.
Pussy is the hardest.
Pussy is the hardest.
But I'm tired of paying for your drinks. I'm tired of doing this. I'm tired of doing your laundry. It's not the same. You don't do any cleaning. You don't do anything. You don't cook. You don't clean. You ask me to pay for you to go to the bar. All I ask is for you to do my laundry once in a while. It's not the same.
That's the problem with the Gen Z generation.
2 jobs.
Is Gen Z thinks that their company is worth a giant amount of money just
Yes.
for their company. It's like,
Do you know how much I was
yeah,
buying?
but like, it's not. I'm like, you're not a comedian. Like, if you're a comedian, and I would be like paying for your time, that would be worth it because at least you'd be making me laugh. But
You're not.
you're in my presence. You're pretty, but
Wasn't
you're
even
a
pretty.
giant fucking headache and a fucking nightmare. What?
Wasn't even pretty.
You're saying this relationship isn't this relationship isn't equal. My time is worth more than yours, so you should pay for it. I wonder what paradigm that sets up. Here's my view. If you go on a date with a guy and you don't offer to pay your share, you weren't taught right.
Listen, as someone who was raised very Italian, okay? My great-grandparents came from Italy. I was taken care of by them while my parents worked and my grandparents worked. I learned a lot of things from them. And one thing that I learned is to treat someone the way you want to be treated. Now, if you're going to go on a date, even if it is with a man, the last thing you do is expect anything from the opposite sex. No, you go in with the assumption that you are giving as much as you are receiving. You pay for fucking half. That's the respectable thing to do. Now, if he offers, that's one thing. But you automatically assume you're going to be paying for half.
You have to at least offer. And assume,
Yeah!
assume
that they're gonna fucking...
assume you are going to be paying because
No, but if they assume that the man is going to be paying, then you need to dump that bitch off in the fucking alley.
you're gonna be doing dishes, bitch. At this point in my life,
Oh, if you assumed. Oh, first of
if
all,
you don't do
man.
the card toss,
No.
you're washing dishes.
No, if I met someone on Hinge or Tinder or wherever the fuck and we're gonna go on a date, you better believe that we're gonna be discussing who is paying. And if you assume I am paying, then you are going to be meeting up with me
Never.
somewhere that I'm never gonna show up.
Never,
I'm not
ever,
showing up.
ever. I'm not showing up either.
He doesn't pay. He wasn't taught right. I can tell you right now, if I was dating someone and they never offered to pay, I wouldn't be dating them. I can tell you that now.
'Cause it's
If they
fucking
never
rude.
offered to pay, I would not be dating them because
Exactly.
I'd say, this is the most polite they're ever going to be.
Exactly.
And they're not even trying to pay now. What does that say about my future?
What it says about your future is that you're going to be dating and marrying an entitled, spoiled who's going to do nothing but use you and give you nothing back in return.
I can tell you what happens next. They literally will ride you and ride you and ride you for everything possible. Mm-hmm. That's your
Then they're
future.
gonna fuck around on you behind your back and then file for divorce and take half of what you have.
If they're not trying out already to take half your shit anyways.
Absolutely.
So-
Run the fuck away from these women before you tie the knot with them.
He has a great point in saying that it shows how respectful they'll be, because that's them trying their hardest. The first date, they're nervous or whatever. They're trying their hardest, and to sit there and not even begin to offer to pay, shady shit. That's some shady shit right there.
I will always treat my partner how I would treat my best friend. And I wouldn't apply a different standard to my partner than my best friend. I wouldn't go, I wouldn't say to
Exactly.
my best friend, let's always go out to dinner and you always pay.
Never.
I'd say, let's be teammates here in whatever way we can. And maybe, by the way, proportionately, what you can do is less than what he can do. That's a different thing. If he says to you, I want to go stay at the top hotel in Big Sur this weekend, and it's $1,500 a night, and you say, I don't have the money. It's his job to say, it doesn't matter. I didn't do it so you could pay. I did it because I want to go.
Yeah.
Great. Or if you both agree to go on holiday and you have a fifth of his earning potential, you say, I want to contribute to a fifth of this holiday. It's overly simplistic, but you get what I'm saying, right? I'll contribute on the level I can contribute. Let me tell you what means something to a guy. Trying. Means something
Respect.
to a guy. When he feels that you're not even trying to contribute, that's when he feels used.
Exactly.
Because any guy who's really confident and self-respecting, if the woman never is even trying to contribute, he feels like he's being taken advantage of.
Damn, if we were straight women, we would be like the best straight women ever.
Right?
Yeah.
They'd like us.
Yeah, dude. But unfortunately, we're just like straight men. We're just like straight men.
Just respect us. Be nice.
So we always get the shit under the stick, just like straight men. You get those fucking garbage women who just want to use you and think that they're special when they're fucking not.
They believe they're truly entitled to the things you work for.
Just because you say you're a gay woman doesn't mean you're any more entitled or any less entitled than a straight woman is. They act just like straight women.
We talk about those high earning men often,
Yeah.
and I can tell you what happens with someone like that when you don't have enough respect for yourself to say, hey, this is not good for me. You work 60 hours a week, and none of that money comes home to you because you're spending it all on her.
Ew.
No, I mean, it's what happens.
No, ew.
It is
That's
gross.
disgusting.
That's
you
exactly
should
what
never
happens.
spend your money on a woman
No.
unless she's completely earning it in some way or another.
Exactly.
If not, then you're just shitting your money out away on someone who's probably fucking your best friend, your father, or some stranger you don't even fucking know about.
For the women who truly believe that they deserve this, they have to at least recognize that the money that
Deserve what?
they deserve to be paid for like that.
If any woman thinks they deserve to be paid for,
They don't realize what happens.
if any woman thinks they deserve to be paid for, you need to dump them in a dumpster and allow them to be dumped into the trash.
They don't respect you.
They don't even respect themselves. They think they know how worthy they are, but they have no idea what makes them worthy. If you ask them, what makes you worth my fucking time?
My company.
My time in my life, the fact that I'm living.
We're gonna
they
build
have
an
nothing
empire
to fucking
together.
offer. Just drop them off in the dump where they belong, on the street corner, and let them live.
They're gonna be-
That's where they belong.
They're going to disrespect you way more than that, so you might as well get rid of them.
Dump them.
It has nothing to do with money. It has to do with the lack of gesture. So I would be looking at, if you like this guy, maybe if you're in different positions, figure out what you want to contribute proportionately or what you can contribute proportionately and treat him as you would your best friend.
Listen, the one way you will know if a woman truly respects you is if you understand where she came from, her family. What kind of family did she come from? Now, for me, I came from an Italian family, okay? So we were, I'm sorry, but we were trained from a young age to respect men.
Yeah.
And why? Because they're doing certain things, so we have to do certain things. And then when I was a young child, I didn't understand it. I thought women were just being pussies and they were bending over for men. But the older I got, the more I understood the men are doing this, so we do this. It's you wash my back, I wash yours. And that made sense. But at the same time, I would see my sister being like, ow, why do I have to do this? I'm like, wow. And the more that I looked at my sister and I saw the type of men she dated, I should say men with quotation marks because they were more like boys, because they were the most beta, like the smallest dick man you've ever met in your life. And I was like, wow. Now it makes sense why my sister is constantly miserable with the boys that she dates. She's never satisfied and she's always looking for someone else. And it all made sense. Women are never satisfied. They always fucking complain. And when they complain about petty shit like this, it means you need to fucking cut and run the fuck away.
Yeah.
Because what I learned from my grandparents was to respect. You wash my back, I wash yours. You treat people the way you want to be treated. My sister learned the exact opposite. She learned, if I feel that I'm worthy, then I demand you treat me the way that I see myself. My sister's a giant cunt. I will never say anything but. And she's always dated beta men. And you know what's funny? Is she's always cheated on those beta men.
Makes
always.
sense.
Before she's about to get rid of them, she always talks to someone else behind their back.
Tries to weigh out her options.
Yeah. And then she ends up with some other dude.
How many guys do you think she's talked to before
2,
she ends
3,
up breaking it
4.
off?
No, she always talks to just one guy, but she makes sure that he's a little bit more masculine, yet a little bit more beta.
The pussy whip.
Yeah. Just, they have to be a little bit more masculine.
So being raised in an Italian
They have to
family-
be, as much beta, but just a little bit more masculine. But, the same, but not, a little bit more beta. Yeah, which is why my sister will never get married. She will never have children. Why? Because she'll always be with a man who's pussy whipped. Completely pussy whipped. I know exactly the type of guy she's with right now, and I've only met him once, and I only need to meet him once in order to know that relationship will never last. Because I know women like her, and women like her are the majority of women. And so I know what to avoid as a lesbian in relationships. Mm-hmm. I learned a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure. Respecting the men in your life is an important thing, and there's something about, my grandparents, for example. My grandma worked, but she also cleaned the house and took care of things. Mm-hmm. It's a split, give and take. Not necessarily 50-50, but give and take. And you have to respect, at that point, the breadwinners. If men are bringing home the money, you respect the men.
No.
I mean, there's other reasons.
See, women don't like that. Women don't like when you say, you have to respect the breadwinners. What you have to say in order to mindfuck them into believing that, listen, because they think, you have to respect the men. That's what they think you're saying.
No.
But what you have to pretty much say to them in a different way, so they'll actually understand with a brain, because they don't have one, is if he is doing this, and you're not doing anything, then you have to do this in order to match up with this. Therefore, you have a good balance.
Yeah,
but if you say, he's doing this, and you have to respect him, then they're going to think, hey. They're going to think that you're doing this, So you pretty much have to say, listen, little Timmy.
If he's funding...
I'm going to give you your little trophy, but first you have to understand that if he's going to work 45 hours to 50 to 60 hours a week, and he's buying your lunch, little Timmy, and you're getting your trophy, then you have to clean the fucking dishes and clean your goddamn room, and maybe you're going to fucking vacuum and wipe down the surfaces. Maybe you're going to do that.
Yeah. But if you're not even offering, if you're not even doing
if you're not
that,
even offering, then kick the bitch out of your fucking house.
Yeah.
Kick the bitch out.
If you can't even be like, hey, would you like me to do your dishes? I don't really do much. You pay for all the dates. Do you want me to do your dishes?
If she's not offering, never have a child with this woman, because you will be competing with the attention from your child versus the attention from her. You have a child with this woman, you're going to be competing for attention.
Yes.
She's going to be like, oh, you're giving the child more attention than me.
How dare you? How dare you?
Like psycho killer Keskase, run the fuck away.
Yes. Fucking psycho bitches.